Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. We told you about Dan Ellis, and now let's meet Josh Harding again.
Yeah, their number one guy is on the shelf as well. Nick Backstrom out with a knee injury, so Josh Harding capably steps to the twine for the Minnesota Wild. He blanked the Stars in February, if you remember back to the previous era, and he gives them a guy who can give them big save goaltending every single game. And they're in so many one-goal games, the Wild, all four of them have been one-goal games. They feel like, yes, they'd like to boost their offense a little bit. At the same time, it's tough to argue with the numbers, but they need that save at the right time from their netminder as well.
Dallas starts with their top line, Jamie Benn. Back to left wing this year. Lindy Ruff has replaced Eric Cole, who sort of started the season with them, with Rich Peverly, and Tyler Seguin in the middle. Seguin had a career night last night, 2 goals and 2 assists for Jamie Benn. It was his 10th three-point game. Brendan Dillon, Stefan Robida, and Dillon cops it up right away. Backhand shot, score! First shot of the game. Brodziak intercepts it, and this checking line gets on the board.
Not hard to figure this one out. Can't turn the puck over against the Wild. They feast on them. Pressure along the wall. He thought he had the outlet in center iceman Tyler Seguin. Tried to bump it into the middle. Quick backhander that eludes Dan Ellis. Might have even caught the stick of Stefan Robida as he tried to help out. That didn't take long.
Justin Fontaine's first. He led Houston in scoring last year, and he's on that checking line, and that's his first in the NHL for a 1-0 Minnesota lead. Matt Cook and Kyle Brodziak out there with him. It was Cook who made the steal. And now the Stars will try and get their legs under them again. There's Jonas Brodin, Mikko Koivu, Zach Parise, and Nino Niederreiter, the top line out there for Mike Yeo. Whitney directs it to Cole. He's got some room. Barreling in. Eakin. One-timed it wide. Cole went back toward the net on the backhand. Harding kicked that out.
Well, you're not going to get a better chance than that to get this back to even immediately. Mistake in coverage by the Wild. Quick puck movement. I think Harding might have got a toe on that.
Golden Gopher, Alex Goligoski, one of Don Lucia's boys. Cole in the corner, back of the net to Roussel. Here's Sean Horkoff. Centered it, defended well in front, and Mikael Granlund got it ahead. Danny Heatley at center ice. Granlund digging in there with Goligoski. And a puck battle in the corner to Ellis's right. Pominville cranked it out. Spurgeon to Pominville, turned and fired, and getting in there to block it is Horkoff. Stars clear it, but are unable to change completely. Just 2 minutes gone in the opening period, and it's 1-0 Minnesota. Ballard buying time for both his team and the Stars to make changes. And Ellis back of his net. Got it away from Torrey Mitchell. Val Nichushkin, another turnover. Veilleux to Mitchell along the boards. Cranks it around behind for Konopka. Robida has position and is hemmed in. He gets a little bit of help, and out come the Stars. Fiddler to Nichushkin at center ice. Stoner stepped up on him. Veilleux into the zone. Pumps it. Save Ellis.
It's looked like the Stars would like to bump to the middle on their exits out of their own zone and hit center iceman in support, but the passes have not been good. Costly on the first one. They get away with this one. The Wild got away with offering up a 2-on-1 right after going ahead 1-0. Quick play in neutral ice. It's a tough play for Eakin to manipulate his body and get that on net. Stars strong face-off man on that second line. I'd like to have that one back and see if he could get a little more wood on it.
Suter and Brodin, the pair out there. And young Brodin up ahead. Brodziak got away from Daly, who might have picked him off just a little bit. Feeds Suter at the line, bodies in front, tried to shoot. Brodziak wasn't looking for it. Seguin out to center ice. Peverly caught sort of flat-footed as the pass was slow to come to him. Cook in there in the corner, harassing Daly for the puck. Fontaine again standing in front of the net, but it's the Stars up with it, and Jordie Benn angles it out all the way down on Harding, so no icing. Stoner up in front of his own bench. Over Dan Ellis's head.
I think he just missed it.
Yeah.
Looked like he was playing it like an infield fly, and it eluded his glove.
Just waved at it. Stoner kept it in at the line. Niederreiter, a backhander wide of the net. Mikko Koivu firing. That hits the side of the goal. Koivu dispatching it back to Stoner. Got through. Parise tried to tip it home. It went wide.
Boy, Parise wants that puck at the net. He was tapping his stick earlier. Get the shot toward the net. He had dropped anchor right in front of Dan Ellis.
Whitney forced to turn back, and Gonchar. Good pass ahead at the line. Cole all bottled up, though. Young Dumba had him. And the Wild counter. Granlund heads for the front of the net and now behind it to battle with Robidas. They cancel each other out. Roussel backhands a pass ahead. Horcoff to Cole at the line. Roussel barging across with it. It's tapped forward, and Dillon puts it back to the net for Roussel. Horcoff swerving to Robidas at the line to Brendan Dillon. Shot it, got through, and Harding made the save. Cole's backhand attempt for a centering feed goes off Ballard and hits the screen.
So Lindy Ruff didn't want to hear any suggestions about needing fresh legs into the lineup here tonight. It's the exact same lineup that played in Winnipeg last night. And he's just going to stress discipline, both positional, with the puck, and obviously penalties. You know, don't take penalties. The Wild are off to a real good start with their power play. And ultimately, just don't chase. Don't chase the Wild. Don't chase the score tonight. Well, 15 seconds in, all went out the door.
Now it's Fiddler back at his own line. Yeah, 1-0 for the Minnesota Wild. Game's first shot, a turnover. Found its way into the back of the net. And a happy young Minnesota Wild player with his first. Torrey Mitchell pivots away from Nichushkin. They get it back to Spurgeon. Now to Ballard. The Baudette, Minnesota native. Signed in the offseason, or acquired in the offseason. And Garbutt will shoulder it on in. Here comes Suter. You'll hear his name a lot. Plays about half the hockey game. Goligoski makes the turn. Alex up ahead, steering wide from Brodziak. Good pass to Peverley, moving in. Peverley shot it. Suter was there to help partially defend, and then guided off the boards and out.
Been a couple of really spry passes by the Dallas defense to forwards.
Ben was a little off balance, but he's able to leave it and then get it back from Goligoski in the corner. Walks past Peverley. Sagan couldn't find the puck. Cook sends it out to Brodziak, and Gonchar steps up. Goligoski quickly through. Couldn't get the puck away and out. He'll get another chance, but it's hopping on him. In the middle it comes. Sagan pushed it out. Fontaine knocked it down, and the Wild will change. So will the Stars. Shots are 3-3 in the game, and they got a man loose. It's Niederreiter. A shot. He missed the net.
Boy, that was set. Up through the middle with a bunt to a winger breaking through. They draw the defenseman to the middle of the ice. Forward isn't picking things up wide. Just about.
Zach Parise kept it away from Ray Whitney. Cody Eakin knocked it down. It would have been a high stick, so he let it go, and the Stars pursue the puck. Stoner bunted it away from Chiasson. Up comes Parise to center. He fires it in out of the corner. Koivu tried to lift Dillon's stick. And Eakin protected it against Nino Niederreiter, which has to be one of your favorite all-time names. Stoner pumps it ahead. And Pominville's shot tipped out of play. Almost 7 minutes into the first period. Well, it didn't take long, just 12 seconds. And the Wild are on the board. 1-0 Minnesota on Fontaine's first.
Tough start for Ellis and the Stars. Just a dozen seconds in, they're down 1-0. The second fastest goal allowed by the franchise. The fastest, the French connection, Richard Martin. a second quicker. Here's that chance for Niederreiter. This is a nice play. Brodin up through the middle, little touch pass. Had the Stars standing flat-footed.
And now Granlund trying it again. Fires it into the glove, and Ellis settling in.
Well, I mean, back-to-back games, first period especially, get your footing. Everybody get into this thing. Everybody came over this morning. Stars had a real brief skate. That's what happens when you only have one goalie.
Yeah.
Kari Lehtinen on the shelf. Jack Campbell wasn't here yet. Just try to wade into the game. You know, don't do crazy things that put you behind by 2 and 3 goals, and then you have to really go to the whip.
From center ice, Horkoff's pass a little too far for Cole. Jonas Brodin, Granlund out to Heatley. One star back and others coming. Heatley had it poked away by Roussel. Heatley has 9 shots this season through 4 games, but not a single point. Horkoff at center ice. Daly creeping up. Horkoff spun, found it, but he was engaged, and now it's Garbutt challenging Brodin, and then Garbutt cut down in the corner. Gonchar holding his point. Nichushkin got there a tick too late. Stars hold it in. Rogowski's shot is blocked. Battle back of the net. Heatley along the wing there and available. He'll clear it. Gonchar away from Torrey Mitchell. Stars are 2-1 in the young season following an opening night loss 4-2 to Florida. 2 straight wins. Last Saturday 2-1 over Washington, and last night 4-1 in Winnipeg to start the road schedule. Now will finish up this trip in Colorado on Tuesday as this puck is sent out of play.
Well, Mike Yeo, as we've already documented, is trying to squeeze more offense out of this team this year. They were the only Western Conference playoff team that was outscored in the regular season last year. Everybody else had more goals than goals against. But they don't want to lose that strong defending base. I'm sure he's happy with the goal from Fontaine, not just that they're up 1-0, but another forward scores a goal. 5 of the 6 goals scored by forwards in their first 4 games were off the sticks of either Cook or Parise. Got to spread it around a little.
Parise with 3. Now it's Seguin. Got his first 2 as a Star last night. Brendan Dillon leads the Dallas defense in scoring in the young season with a goal and 2 assists. Peverley got it over. Jamie Benn.
Boy, it's a real battle to get anything interior all over the ice against the Wild the way they're playing. You can see them just try to flush everything to the outside, give the Stars nothing in the middle. And if they force it into the middle, we saw that on the opening goal of the night, it can be bad things for Dallas.
Seguin chips it back. Dillon shot it. Harding out to his right. Released it, and Koivu sends it out. Jordy Ben to Chiasson. Will it continue? A goal in each of his first 3 for Chiasson. Eakin trying to steal it away from Young Dumba. Now it's Chiasson back of the net, and Harding has it pinned aside the goal. And chance to remind you to join us for the official Miller Lite Stars watching party Tuesday, October 15th at Katy Trail Ice House in Uptown. Pre-game party starts at 6:30. Then watch the Stars take on the Avs at 8 Dallas time. For more information, visit DallasStars.com.
Well, if you were watching last night and you got entertained in Cody Eakin's hometown, the top end came to play last night. The power play announced its presence on the season. They went 0 for 5 opening weekend.
Chiasson was in that spot that he likes. He couldn't quite get the puck twisted to his forehand.
I keep saying opening weekend. It feels like a college schedule.
Yeah, it does. It does. We're just going
to that weekend, to this weekend.
Yeah. And then we'll wait. And the Stars had nearly a week off between games. Now they're attacking. Chiasson wanted to walk out front. Spurgeon attacked him and cut him off. Parise, the Minnesota native. His father, JP, played for the North Stars for many years. Leaves it to Niederreiter. Dropped it to Koivu. Shooting it. Pad save. Ellis kicked it away from the oncomers. Rodin put it back at the net. Parisi watched and shadowed in the corner. Niederreiter. Jordie Benn roughing him up with the stick. Koivu left it. Parisi trying to spin away from Trevor Daley. Whips it out. Brodin to Suter. Along the wing. Shooting it. Tipped. It went off Jordie Benn and right in on Dan Ellis, who keeps it just 1-0 Minnesota. 9:25 into the first period. The Stars and the Wild at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul.
The Stars' travel will be trimmed severely with their move from the Pacific to the Central Division. Not to mention the discombobulating effect of time zones. They realign things. The Makes Sense division now. So the Stars in Winnipeg last night against the Wild here tonight, and then the next one on this 3-game road trip against the Avalanche. They'll actually have to move to Mountain Time there. Everybody else, though, in the Central, Hawks, Blues, Predators. First taste of the West, really, for Lindy Ruff and everybody. Sagan said the same thing last night. Somebody asked him, what do you think of the West? And he's like, well, we've played nothing but Eastern Conference teams, so I'm not sure yet.
I said, how do you like this building? He said, I've been here once. Loose puck in the Dallas zone. Cook. Shot, score on the wraparound. And it's that same line again. This time it's Cook for a 2-0 Wild lead.
Well, there's a couple of mistakes on this one. Stars end up controlling the draw, and Goligoski just overskated it. He went to have a look, a peek at Cook coming, and a lot of defensemen do. And then as he tried to hurt him in front, this one might have went off his stick and then through Dan Ellis. Takes a peek, forgets about the puck, comes in front, and that was just whipped home. Ellis didn't have it defended very well on the short side, so it's been a ragged start for him, and the Stars have to chase.
That's Cook's third goal of the season. Double-digit goals 10 times in his career, and he's off and flying this year. There's Fontaine whipping it at the net. Ellis up to the task there, and Benn spoiled at the line.
Well, Matt Cook comes in here as basically a replacement for Clutterbuck as far as the style of play. He's the physical forward. Clutterbuck went to the island. That's why Niederreiter's here, and the let's trade places business of the National Hockey League. Lots of experience. Kind of shed the label as a dirty backstabber last couple of years in Pittsburgh. He's been a very productive forward here for Mike Yeo already this year.
Yeah, and I circled he has 0 penalty minutes. Shot coming in from Dumba. Ellis makes the save.
Well, Dan Ellis has to settle down a little bit here too. You know, the first one, a backhand, may have ticked off a little bit, but stoppable. The second one went through him. He was so good last night. Can be a different animal going from coming into a game to starting a game. And as we did before the game, everybody else does too. The spotlight goes on that position.
And just to his left, another puck battle. Granlund's in there. That's Pominville. Heatley, the other guy on that line. There's a Dillon and Robidas on the back end here with Horcoff, Cole, and Antoine Roussel. And Robidas cut down behind the net. Roussel flipped it out to center ice. Wild reorganize. Granlund passed it off. Pominville turning it out. Shot from Stoner over the top of the net. Right to Roussel. He'll try and use his jets on Dumba. Flick it down the boards, and then he was given the shove. And Stoner popped it up to the line. Stars are called offside there.
Trevor Daley just wanted to turn at the end of last night's game and go off the ice. He didn't even want to hang around and celebrate. He took a beating on that final shift of the game. Couple of block shots. He didn't even have his stick in his hand. He and his partner have formed a pretty good defensive defending duo. They lead the Stars defense in block shots, he and Jordie Benn. 15 combined.
He had 4 last night, Trevor did.
Felt like 4 on the last shift, I think.
It did. Well,
Jordie said he went over to celebrate with him, and And he told him, just get away from me. Stars go offside again.
Well, and remember, he was without his stick.
3 in a row.
And he had turned his body and all that. He said, you know what, thanks for the horn. I'm out of here.
And then 24 hours later, they ask you to get right back at it again here tonight. I think the Stars have been knocked off kilter with obviously the early goal, 12 seconds in, and now give up another one. They haven't had the puck much. A little out of sync.
Parise, Koivu, Niederreiter looking for business in the Dallas zone. Stars get it out. Fiddler lurching forward, keeping it away from Ballard. Chucked it back of the net. Nichushkin waiting in front. Jordy Ben, good pass to Daly. Fired it. The stick broke. Niederreiter ate it up.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway. There were 3 red jerseys in front of Josh Harding waiting to block that anyway.
Nichushkin chipped it into himself. Now goes after Suter. Help from Seguin. They try and get it away from him, and nothing doing. Ballard to Veilleux. 6:45 left in the first period here in Minnesota. The Wild again 1-1-2 on the young season. This is their 5th game. Jamie Benn shot it. Save Harding. Tie it back of the net. Wild get some support, but Konopka threw it away and then got it back. Weaving his way to center. Fires it in. Ellis puts it on a tee. Sergei Gonchar collected his first point as a Dallas Star last night. 8 times 50 points from back there for Gonchar. Goligoski. Gonchar up ahead. Whitney. For Chiasson at the line. And a turn on Brodin. Now he's wearing him in the corner. Put it back of the net. Eakin centered it. Nobody there. Chiasson engages Fontaine, keeps the puck alive, and then the pass from Eakin had to be knocked out of the zone for the Stars to possess.
Well, the Stars have not been crisp, but you have to admire the tactical positioning of the Wild, especially in their own zone. I mean, there's no chance the Stars are going to make a play into the middle of the ice right now.
The Dallas line, it's Dillon spinning to find Heatley along the boards. They tie up in the corner. Goligoski had Granlund. Heatley off. Shot, and that one snuck past Dan Ellis from Pominville, but he was able to keep it from going all the way across. He was not able to find this one. Snuck it right in. 2-0 Minnesota late in the first.
Well, now that these two teams are in the same division, I'm sure the rivalry will heat up even more. It was there from the get-go, at least from a fan perspective. That's how it has unfolded in the two venues. The Stars 500 up here. There have been some rough moments. At home, it's just been pure domination. They have owned the Wild and Big D. It's like the Wild and the Oilers. It's just some teams that just come down there, take their beating, and go home.
That's been just absolutely puzzling almost. Brodin puts it back of the net. Parise's there. Niederreiter. Dillon and Horkoff for the Stars. Out to the line for Suter. To Parise. The two big off-season free agent signings a year and a half ago.
Boy, Niederreiter's strong on the puck.
Shot tipped, and it trickles just wide. Koivu. There's Niederreiter again. Wild owning the play here in the first period. Koivu back of the net. Robida chasing him, and off Niederreiter's stick, they finally get it out. Here comes Cole against Suter. Left it. Niederreiter chased it down. Feed to Heatley at center ice. Turned it over in front of a changing Dallas bench.
Boy, the Stars have had a tough period with the puck. They're going to get a power play opportunity here, though.
And it's a cross check.
Well, it was right as the two teams were trying to get line changes in right next to the benches on the far side. So an opportunity for the top end guys, for the Stars to maybe gain a little bit of momentum at the very least, if not cut this lead in half. Good shift by that top line of the Wild. cycling. Big bodies. Koivu's a big guy. Niederreiter obviously strong on it. Parise, that's a big part of his game. They came close.
Stars were 2 for 5 in Winnipeg last night. The Wild win the draw. And Minnesota struggling on penalty killing. They've given up power play goal in each of their first 4 games. Stars spread it out. Ben, a shot and a save. Harding, good setup from Seguin. Peverley holding it. Chiasson camped in front. He got him the puck, but he could do nothing with it. And Peverley's pass hit the referee. Gonchar kept it in, but swept it away. And Cook, with Brodziak up front, Cook lost it, and then came back to the puck, and then is knocked to the ice at center, and the Wild send it deep. Stars finally got on the power play a lot last night, but there were 3 abbreviated man advantages. They only had 5 power play opportunities over their first 2 games, and they did not score in Dallas. Tyler Seguin has the puck. Out to Gonchar. He held it at the line, barely. Comes to Brodin, and he'll send it out. Midway through the minor to Heatley. Peverley snuck it in. Gonchar following it up in the corner. Ben couldn't get there. Cole hustling over to cover at the left point. He doesn't hold it in, and look out, Brodziak. Breakaway, in. Backhander, he couldn't get it off.
Faked himself out.
Eakin to find it. And Gonchar just trying to settle things down.
Honestly, I thought the ice looked really good in warm-up when I was downstairs, but the Stars have handled the puck like it's horrible. Bouncing over, leaving pucks.
Cole kept it away from Koivu. And a penalty coming up here against, I guess, Dallas, but they had the puck. Let me see.
That play, the puck comes around the boards, and Cole was waiting on it rather than getting it, and it hopped right over his stick. Brodziak, who's had a lot of production through the years, both as a Minnesota Wild player and when he was in Edmonton with the Oilers, had it on the backhand, and it just dribbled off the end of his stick. So Koivu with the penalty in neutral ice. Stars with 10 seconds. Boy, this is a big time to get puck possession against the best face-off team in the league. Peverley to take this draw.
But a team that's had a lot of problems, down 5-on-3. Gonchar getting it back from Seguin. Seguin shot it. Save Harding, and he holds it just as that first minor expires. They get Heatley back.
Well, this is nicely executed right from the draw. Peverley steps in. Kind of the tie-up and then wins it with his feet. This is artfully done. Steps in, there's the tie-up, boots it back, they get possession. They work to that one-timer that was so effective last night against the Jets. Give it back, and kabang. Harding was way ahead of it that time, though.
Brodziak hacks that down to Dan Ellis. Power play goals last night from Tyler Seguin and Alex Chiasson. And there's 91. Passed it off. Peverley kicks it into the corner. Second consecutive power play for the Stars. Roughly coinciding with the remaining time now in the period at about 1.5 minutes.
Wow.
And another breakaway. It's Cook all alone. Shoots, save Ellis.
Boy, they are really exposing the 4 forward, 1 defenseman. Nobody covering back. Right through the middle of the ice. Big stop by Dan Ellis, obviously. Boy, the Stars just looked like they left their minds at the hotel in this opening period.
The Shoes get bucked off the puck. Stoner over to the boards. Whitney just out of Cole's reach, but he's able to protect against Suter. Battles with Stoner in the corner. Suter gets it along towards Mitchell from center ice. High and wide, and it's sitting on the back of the Dallas net.
Get it off there. You're on the power play.
And Goligoski, well, they're going to say that the puck was there long enough to incur the whistle, and which I suppose is better than closing your hand on the puck.
Alex has had a rough time with that portion of the net and rink in this opening period. Look at them. My gracious. You don't see that very often. A shorthanded breakaway with nobody in the vicinity to chase him. Capacious area of the ice that Cook was able to gobble up the puck and take off, and that dandy stop by Ellis to make sure that this isn't a deeper hole than they're already in.
Here comes Ray Whitney. Nichushkin lost it to Suter. Down it goes, and Dallas just 10 seconds or so left here on the power play. And under half a minute to play in the period. Another pass forced. Stars are 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Koivu's on, and in comes Jordy Benn. Turned it over. Koivu. Horcoff battled to get it back. It's an offside call against the Dallas Stars, but they keep a 2-on-1 from happening.
Well, because of their struggles with the puck, and I guess you credit a little bit the pressure that the Wild have put on them from time to time, but sometimes it's just been unforced errors with the pill. Got to clean that up. They're going to get out of this first period only down 2-0. It feels bad, I think, because of the way the goals went in and how early they did, but it could be way, way worse.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Hit the reboot button.
Finally, mercifully, the horn sounds, ending the first period. Which has been brought to you on TXA 21 by Forest Park Medical Center. So the Minnesota Wild jump on the road-weary Stars. 2-0 Minnesota. Back with more in a moment. Dan Ellis, originally drafted by the Dallas Stars. We talked about it before the game. Played his first ever NHL game with Dallas, and that was it back in 04. Notched a career-high 23 wins in 07-08 with Nashville. Stopped 22 of 23 last night, but a very tough first period.
And he knows it. You know, you can feel it. You can read it in the eyes. He's not getting a lot of help from what is going on in front of him. 10 feet in front of him or 200 feet in front of him, the mistakes are being made. But he should have had, if not both of them, certainly the second one with his pad inside the net. So restart this thing, 2 full periods to get their act together.
50-50 face-offs in the first half. Stars 110, Wild 110. Horcoff wins the first one here. He's been good in that department and now goes in after the puck. Eric Cole, Antoine Roussel aboard, and this is tipped out of play.
We'll see if they can get a unit aligned to kind of drive a little bit of energy maybe into the game for Dallas. They got shocked, there's no question about it, with how the game started up. Some confusion as to why this face-off's outside. I think they're saying it went off Cole's stick and up into the netting in behind. I mean, you look to your leadership, and at the same time, you hope your young legs can get involved. That puck went straight up into the Stars bench. I'm sure there were some rather choice words in between periods on that, I would suspect.
I would think.
I mean, they just played bad for 20 minutes.
So right in front of Lindy Ruff, the face-off ensues. Dallas wins it. Daly to the line. Shot it. Deflected. Harding kicked it away. Jonas Brodin lost the puck. Roussel gave it to Horcoff. Roussel. Granlund following him. Whips it out to Ben, who had to turn. Now shoots it. Tipped in front. Just wide by Horcoff.
Boy, good quick move by Jordy Ben at that right point to twist it around and get it in a shooting position. It's tough for a lefty over on that right side to do that.
Daly. Nowhere to go with it. Puts it back in the net. A little too far for Roussel. Jordy Ben hustling over to keep it in. Back of the net for Horcoff. Tried to go short side, or far side rather, to Horcoff. Roussel in front. And now Daly holding it in again. Stars controlling the territorial play in the second period's first minute. And now they'll get a shift change. Goligoski to try it. Right wing pass ahead for Whitney. Shooting wide of the net. He can whip it toward the goal. They try another breakaway pass for Niederreiter this time, and Ellis settles it, plays it to the boards. Dallas controlling, and up ahead comes Whitney. Niederreiter tracked him down. Highest drafted Swiss player ever by the New York Islanders. Razor mentioned the trade in the first period that sent Clutterbuck to the island. He was taken 5th overall by the New York Islanders.
And in a lot of people's eyes, the Islanders rushed him in a little too quick, probably.
This one just gets past him, and line mates Parise, Koivu, and now Spurgeon joining. There's Koivu firing. Ellis juggles and holds it. Get behind the scenes info and up to the minute Stars updates by following the Dallas Stars on Twitter and Facebook. You'll be the first to know any breaking stories and have the chance to win great Stars prizes. Find the Stars on Twitter and Facebook today. So it's Peverley and Brodziak then. Dallas is right after the stoppage. There's managing just 7 first period shots. Wild doesn't give up too many, and that's about on their average. And he'll try Cook. Loose puck, Sagan hops in. Peverley took that defensive zone draw on that side.
And they've been very aggressive against Dallas's defense, though. Their forwards, the Wilds, are hopping.
Suter just got it across. Cook, and we've seen this line against Dallas's top unit. Fontaine and Brodziak. Dillon got it off the glass, but hand pass called at center.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you're going to get this. You're going to get home teams who get last change and want to get a matchup in straight up against your top line, especially when they're coming off a game like they had last night in Winnipeg. So it's up to others. You know, you need that second wave. You need a little bit of support, because teams just circle individuals on a board before the game, talk about them, take them out of their game. If it's a line that's going well, talk about that line, put a game plan in place to take them out of the game and take your chances with everyone else.
Down to Chushkin pursuing Clayton Stoner. Chushkin bumps into Josh Harding back of the net. Incidental contact allowed. Daly fired through, chopped it wide, and he's on a mission. One-man puck collecting crew. Nichushkin into the corner. Garbage back of the net. He'll leave it for Fiddler, and then he's wiped out. Nichushkin goes to the front of the net. Jordy Ben has the puck. He fires. Save Harding. Kicked it out. Daly shoots. Save Harding on the rebound, and a little more attack here from the Stars to open the second.
Well, a couple of good shifts from their depth lines. The Horkoff line and now Fiddler and company here. You know, good, nice interchange using one another. I thought they did that well last night. Not so much in the first period. Dumba erased Nichushkin out of the equation, but they get people to the net. Pretty good vision, though, for Harding on that one. He's in great position to handle that and the rebound. But yeah, a little spirited jump out of the Stars to start the second period. You'd expect that after what was a rancid first 20 minutes.
Horkoff and Pominville. And Pominville, the longtime Sabre, wins the draw.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning about playing for Lindy Ruff. Thinks the world of him. Says it's pretty demanding, though.
And the feeling is mutual as the Minnesota net is rocked free.
Stars with a lot of jump. Yeah, Pominville, who was there for, I think, 8 years under Lindy Ruff, said he's demanding, but you know where you stand with him all the time. Players really appreciate that. And he said the good thing about him is it's not the same thing over and over and over. Like, from year to year, he changes his approach. It's still demanding, but it's demanding in a different way, which is maybe the magic of modern coaching.
Jim Hill spoke about how progressive in thinking Lindy Ruff is. I think he's an old school guy. He said he brings a lot of different stuff to us, and now a penalty. Yep.
Puck down the boards, and the aforementioned Pominville chugging after it.
Dallas 33, minor penalty interference.
Well, this doesn't help. There's a lot of this going on from the Wild tonight. Chip it by the D-man and then try to go in and go after it. Goligoski wouldn't allow him the lane in behind it. We talked about that last night. Has to be your partner or forward help out. So they were just starting to get a little bit of energy and some zone time, and now they drop into this side of their special teams penalty killing, which has been really good this year.
Very good. They were 5 for 6 last night, 11 for 13 on the young season. The Wild started off hot, but went 0 for 6 Thursday night against Winnipeg. They got weapons. Koivu down to Parise. It's off his skate. Suter and Spurgeon the point men. That's Pominville. The complement of 5. Spurgeon off balance, fed the pass across. Suter dumps it into the corner. Robidas, Dillon, Fiddler, and Garbutt out on the kill for Lindy Ruff.
A good, clean exit with the puck there. Important, especially in second periods when your bench is on the other side of center ice. Longer to go to get that full 4-man change in.
And they got it in after that ice. Shot from Spurgeon, nudged aside to the boards by Dan Ellis. Suter, back of the net for Koivu. Shot it in front on Pominville, the save. And now it's Spurgeon regathering to Koivu. Parise tried to jam it in. That time Ellis held his post. Jordy Ben's got some room and whisks it off the glass.
Boy, best save of the night for Dan Ellis, obviously. Point blank on Pominville.
50 seconds remaining in the minor to Alex Goligoski. Nino Niederreiter shoots it in. Ellis unable to cut it off. Robidas battling with Granlund in the corner. Roussel got his stick free. Gave it to Horcoff, who spins to find the lane.
That is exactly the style of penalty killing they want entrenched with the Stars, where one guy goes, everybody goes together. They swarm the puck in the corner, came up with it. Nice veteran balance play by Horcoff to get it down the ice.
While they're in, Niederreiter goes to the front of the net. Roussel was with him all the way, and Dumba, 19 years old back there. Matthew Dumba, their first pick in 2012. One of big points in the Western Hockey League, and he's there to accept the puck in front of his goaltender Harding. 5 seconds remaining, and the Stars get Goligoski back. The Wild are offside at the line.
Stars a couple of ticks away from getting Goligoski back on the ice, and through this power play, they can thank Dan Ellis. Here's that chance. Koivu. I don't know that that puck gets slipped in front with the old nets. Slick play on the backhand. Look one way. Got the Stars to bite hard. Daly bites thinking that Koivu might come out on his forehand. Finds that seam in between, and Ellis stones him.
Goligoski's back. Stars 1 for 1 on the kill. And they stay within 2-0 of the Minnesota Wild. A couple of early goals for Minnesota. Dallas settling down here in the second period. Daly, but Peverley is stuck offside, and Fontaine wouldn't let him back. 13:55 left in period 2. Wild 2, Stars nothing in mini.
First took Val Nichushkin 10th overall this summer. That's just the 4th top 10 pick the Stars have had in 20 years in Dallas. The others, Harvey Jackman and Scott Glennie, who's injured right now. And, you know, you look over at the other side, the Wild have 4 top 10 picks in their lineup. You mentioned Dumba, Brodin, Koivu, and Granlund, the others. You have to be bad to pick top 10.
Yep.
That's one part. But then you have to pick well in order to have those guys play.
Yep. Both true. Trevor Daly, second round pick. Back in 03. Or 02, pardon me. And there's Daly shooting it toward the net, blocked. Peverley, Sagan, sandwiched, couldn't get to the puck. Jordy Ben deep to his brother Jamie. Suter has position and the puck. Jordy Ben, I guess, held it in.
Well, not a lot of room for this line tonight, though, against this group of 5. It hasn't just been that forward line. It's been a steady diet of Brodin and Suter.
Daly, people in front, shot it, and the high tip from Sagan went wide of the net. Suter spills it out. Minnesota trying to get their change, and so will the Stars. Fontaine started the scoring 12 seconds into the game, shoots it in off Ellis's blocker. Parise. Fontaine twisting free. Center net shot from Parise, and a save. Dan Ellis, another good one.
You know, you can say, well, there's a coverage breakdown in front, but really the first assignment is the one-on-one battle in behind the net. Parise's so strong and quick on the puck. Got to be better in behind. Fontaine with the puck in behind. point-blank chance right in front. Down Ellis has made 2 of these. Pominville earlier, Parisi on this one.
Plays off to Ellis's right. Koivu won it. Niederreiter almost tackled. Penalty coming up on the tackle.
This was accidental, but very demonstrative at the same time. Niederreiter's trying to bleed, so it'll be a double minor. Dillon chases him around and behind the net. Sticks are low, and as they got all tangled up with the side of the net, Dillon's stick comes up and cracks Niederreiter there. I always have a tough time with high sticking when a player's on his way down. Like they say, your stick has to be below the crossbar in order for a shot deflected to count. His stick was below the crossbar there, but they're saying it's high sticking.
Yep. It's a good point. Very good. But in any case, second power play of the game for Minnesota. Dallas 0 for 2 in the first period. The Wild 0 for 1. Spurgeon gunned it in, broke his stick at the blade. And Fiddler then will attack. Spurgeon is stickless. Garbutt's attacking him. Spurgeon goes down. Garbutt in, centers it, and it's chipped away. Now the Stars are trapped. Parisi looking for help. Koivu coming over his shoulder. Parisi, a shot saved. Rebound at the side of the net, and Ellis reels it in.
Boy, Danny Ellis has bowed up and sparkled here in the second period. What a play by Koivu to get back. Back pressure, back pressure. Koivu's their top center iceman. He comes all the way back and picks up the defender there. Just waiting on it. Daly's trailing it. When it comes to Daly, he knifes it away. Springs that great chance for Parisi, who's had 2 in a row here now. Left shot, down the right side. Had a good peek at the far side, and Ellis played him well positionally.
Granlund wins the faceoff. Brodin shoves it over. And a shot from Dumba, knocked down in front, pawed aside. Granlund setting it back up and getting it from Brodin. Granlund drops it deep. Brodin pulled it down. Heatley for Brodin. Back to Heatley. All the way across. They score!
What a shot. What a shot by Dumba. Wow.
Superb pass, too, from Heatley, and it's 3-0 Minnesota.
This thing is sent cookie jar. Working around, big seam through the box as the Stars forwards got fouled up. Instead of cutting that off, Dumba's able to elevate this thing over the short side shoulder of Dan Ellis. Came across on his knees to take the bottom away. Couldn't get the corner. 3-0.
Dumba's first NHL goal, the second first NHL goal of the game. Fontaine had his early. And it's 3-0 Minnesota. And back they come again. Cook's pass interrupted. Goligoski fighting there with Fontaine, who fires it in. Robidas, shoved by Cook, worked it out to Goligoski. Heatley and Brodin with the assists. And Robidas back to get it.
Well, the Stars have thrown pucks into coverage and people a lot tonight. They just have not moved the puck with any kind of crispness. See whether these lines stay intact as we move along, too. We're almost midway through the game. The Stars have just 9 shots.
Chiasson, you know what he wanted to do. Now he gave it to Dillon. Gonchar's shot over the top of the net. Chiasson, Eakin, Whitney trying to do some business. Big clog up behind the goal. Puck comes free to the boards. The Wild clear it, and icing against Minnesota. Gonchar back to get it. We'll see what Lindy Ruff wants to do here.
Well, the first changeup might be on defense with D pairs. It could be a changeup, or it could be just trying to get things reset after some special teams. But you got Gonchar out here with Dillon. You had Goligoski with Dillon's usual partner Robidas on the previous shift.
Roussel asked to move. Konopka and Cole. Cole burrowing in with Garbutt. The Stars get the puck. Dillon under duress from Mitchell shot it into the corner. Spurgeon up the wall. Horkoff fighting two Wild players, but they prevail, and it's Gonchar back to get it. Minnesota makes their change. Midway through the game, 3-0 Wild. Gonchar straight ahead and in. They give him some ice. He shoots it just wide.
Almost, it looked like he had Harding moving the wrong way on that.
Cole knocked it forward. Roussel couldn't take the touch feed from Horkoff. Spurgeon taking off with Parise at the line. Koivu shot it wide of the net. Shot from the wing, saved. They keep burrowing at it, and people behind the net are pointing, but Dan Ellis appears to have the puck.
Yeah, well, you can't count it anyway if he shoved his pad over the line. The conversation going on, I didn't see any kind of a signal on the ice. It was a big pounding rebound off the end boards that came out the other side and forced Ellis to get across and try to stuff it with his right pad. Comes across, the jam play on the far side. You can't see that it's in the beginning. You're not supposed to be allowed to shove the goaltender or his pad, any part of his body, into the net with the puck. But they quickly deemed that it was already in.
Is it in before Parise touched it?
I think it was on the line, and then Parise comes in and jams it. So Ellis has been victimized on similar plays on both posts here in the game, where his pad's been inside the net, and so is the puck eventually.
4-0 Minnesota on 22 shots. Jordy Ben back of his net.
Scoring for Minnesota. His fourth of the season.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Parise. His team leading fourth. Niederreiter and Koivu get the assist. The line all figures in on it. And now Pominville fires, blocked by Jordy Ben. Granlund in there. Dallas had a 4-0 lead over Winnipeg last night. Now it's flip-flop. Eakin, hopeful shot. Ballard sends out a play and us to break. 8:45 left in the second period. 4-0 Wild in Minnesota.
A world of hurt here in St. Paul. They're already down 4-0, just past the midway point of this one. And if they have designs on coming back, they got to beat this guy repeatedly, and he's almost unbeatable at XL Energy Center. Josh Harding's numbers, he's won 5 of his last 6, just 4 regulation losses in his last 21. You barely get to 2 goals on him. Save percentage is outstanding, and a gaggle of shutouts in there too. And he's looked sharp here tonight. He hasn't been overworked. Stars only have 10 shots. But it's going to take some kind of a Herculean effort to even get back into this game, let alone get to even.
Cody Eakin, Mikko Koivu to Harding's right. And the Minnesota captain excused. Now Parise in to try it. Off the tie-up. Loose puck. Niederreiter bounces it ahead. Koivu sends it around the boards. Goligoski up but not out. Brodin shot, tip, save, and Parise to the rebound. Koivu fed it back, and now Whitney jumps past Brodin. Suter's going to get there. Whitney harassing him. Jason coming in too. Brodin spins it up the far side, and Parise trying to tap it past Robidas. Second bid, he got it out. A battle at center ice. Eakin left it. Goligoski shot it in. It hit Suter. He was unaware where it was. Peverly trying to walk by Parise. The bodies fall up to the side. And finally, a penalty.
Well, he got put in a bad spot. Suter did. Little help from Parisi coming back, but I don't know what else you do with this. They fought hard to get the puck, then it comes right back at him. Boom, off the body. He's in protection mode, then he gets hounded, and then out of that he got nailed with the penalty. I don't know that he took one, but the Stars will certainly take it. He closed his hand on the puck. Yeah. That's what it was. They brought that in last year where you can't move the puck with your hand on it.
Penalty, Minnesota, number 20, Ryan Suter. 2 minutes for delay.
Third power play of the game for Dallas. They're 0 for 2. Trying to get something positive going here in Minnesota. Peverley, Seguin, and Benn. And in comes Benn. Chiasson, the fourth forward. Jordy Benn on top. Seguin center shot from Chiasson and a save Harding. Seguin looks out, now looks in. Chiasson standing in front. Seguin got it through. They score! Jordy Benn gets the Stars on the board, and it's 4-1.
On a broken play. These are always the most difficult to defend. Well, now they can try to knife and fork their way back in. Good on Jordy Benn getting some time out here on the power play. He's played really well. So seam pass goes to the middle, but watch it click off. Ding, ding, 2 deflections, and falls perfectly to Benn. He rifles it over top. I think because Chiasson's in front, Harding was not only occupied with Chiasson, he was screened by him. Couldn't see that puck get through there and was late to get across.
Jordy Benn's first of the season. He had one last year. His second career NHL goal, so he had 2 firsts and a second. Cole tried to pass that off. Dean steals it to the middle off Pominville skates. He'll let Heatley drag it in, tried to go back to him, turned it over at the Dallas line. Roussel trying to get through on Ballard. 4 of them in the corner. Horkoff waiting. Tried to pass it over to Dillon. It's intercepted and cleared. Gonchar back to get it for the Stars.
His first of the season, number 24, Jordy Benn, assistant number 91. Tyler Seguin, number 12.
Seguin and Chiasson with the assist, so Chiasson's point streak goes to 4 games. And Whitney, that puck popped weirdly and he couldn't corral it.
Well, there's a lot of snow that builds up along the benches. Is why one of the reasons why they have the ice girls that come out on stoppages and clean all that snow away. And as it hit the boards, it jumped straight up in the air and trailed in behind Whitney, who was in full flight down that right wing side. Looks like the Stars have shortened things up. It's not only changed things up, but shortened things up on the defensive side.
Gonchar and Dillon playing together here. And there's Suter. Up ahead, Koivu trying to cut loose. Eakin had just enough of him.
Stay with your center, and he did.
Minnesota re-engaging. Koivu was trapped as Niederreiter burrowed his way across and now has words with Brendan Dillon in the corner.
Koivu got trapped because he was complaining, thinking there should have been a penalty on Eakin, who stayed with him right off of that draw. Eakin, I think, had the armpit hold on Koivu's stick. He lurked around a few ticks, and because of that, his bablative effort with the referee that never changes their minds. He'll continue on. You think he'll call it now? The player says, "Well, I'm gonna plant the seed."
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You talked me into it. You're right. You're right.
It was like last night when they were complaining that there should have been a penalty on the icing, and it was like, do you honestly think that if you complain, you're going to get that? But the reality is, you might be able to buy one a little down the line. Boy, if the Stars could find a way to get one more past Harding before the end of the period, and obviously nothing else against, they can feel like they're back into this.
Big line's out there. Seguin and the linesman interrupted that play. He might have been gone. He was flying down the wing. Wild settled. Brodziak, Cook into the zone. Fontaine shot it. That was spoiled by Goligoski, who now takes the puck. Jamie Benn locked up at the line. Past Brodin and Suter. Up ahead, Goligoski on the pinch. And the Stars scramble to cover. Robida getting over there on Fontaine. And then shoves him and the puck to center ice. Tough pass at the Minnesota line for Fiddler.
That's been their worst area tonight. Puck movement, puck security, and puck movement. Two pretty critical areas,
Yeah,
I might add.
Yeah. Just those two?
That's all.
Goligoski up ahead. Fiddler got it over. Garbett decked. Nichushkin overskates the puck. And Mitchell lumbering out. Garbett turned on the Jets to get there, left it for Jordy Ben, Dallas's lone goal scorer tonight. Fiddler, Konopka forcing him back of his net. Cuts are 22-12 Minnesota and a 4-1 Wild lead. Daly to Ben. Garbett. Dumba comes down to press the issue.
Yeah, they've really come with their forecheck. It hasn't been easy at times.
Tried to follow Nichushkin out of the zone. Heatley turning it right back in. Delays, now fires, and a save Ellis. Up off the high glass behind the net. Garbett has position, but he's having trouble with Heatley. Pominville and Daly are there as well. Puck worked over to Jordy Ben. And he'll use the window to get it out. A little English on it. Nichushkin chasing Ballard. Under 4 to play in the second period. Puck loose at center. Dillon squeaked it over. Roussel overskated. Stars get back on side. Ballard turned it over. Cole shot it down the boards. Roussel trying to get through and attempting to entice a call. Neither happened.
Well, it's the second time he's tried to do that against Ballard.
Now the Wild in. Parise all the way around. Centered it. Shot. Save on Koivu. Niederreiter was right on Ellis's lap. Brodin shoots it. And that's off Ellison into the corner. Parise so quickly back out on top. Suter to Brodin, a drive. Blocked on its way in. And the Wild come up with it. Parise, a shot going for the far side. He missed the net. Koivu has it in his skates. Parise back of the net. Gonchar trying to engage him there. Crowd getting more lively as the Wild put the heat on in the Dallas zone. Suter's shot. Just a clog of humanity in front, and the Stars finally get it out. Cole to center ice and beyond. Has to wait for help on the change. He is overwhelmed. Goligoski spun it around behind. Robida on the ice for the Stars. Rink wide to Whitney, through his skates and into the Minnesota zone. Chiasson burrowing in with Dumba. Left it for Whitney. Eakin now giving chase. The Wild get it out to center ice. Cook turning it over. 2:10 to play in the period. Goligoski will start it out for the Stars. Passed over to Robida. Missed Whitney. Icing against Dallas. 2 minutes left exactly in the second period.
Well, quite a shift for the top line of the Wild, who had the Stars running a little bit. Dan Ellis has been under siege here in the second period. You're right, though. It's attempt and then go get it and reload it and attempt again. And they did it over and over again because of the spirited effort of the wingers primarily. Niederreiter and Parise on that line. Came close.
Stars win the draw in their own zone. And a good pass ahead from Goligoski to Eakin. Back to Whitney, walking in. And he can't center it because Ballard gives up the body. Back to Whitney, behind the net for Chiasson. Eakin dumped in front of the net. Whitney keeping it alive. Worked his way out front, and Eakin was stifled. Spurgeon let it go. Granlund using the boards, and Eakin knocks Pominville down, and the puck goes into Dallas ice. Daly makes the turn with Heatley on his back and leaves it. Nichushkin with the pass ahead. And Nichushkin out here with Jamie Benn and Rich Peverly. Pass ahead all the way in on Harding. Cleared to the Dallas line and beyond. Jordy Benn up to the middle. Spurgeon gives it ahead, and Koivu takes the bump from Jamie Benn. Got it around the boards. Niederreiter to Parise, back of the net. Zach taps it back. Brodin. Parise. Niederreiter goes to the front of the net, and it's chipped out by Nichushkin. But he couldn't move on Brodin, who fires it back across. Daly gave it to Jamie Benn. Beverly lost it at the line. Daly recovers to shoot it out.
Just no room and not enough energy to skate away from the hounding defending of the Wild through 2 periods tonight.
Vern Fiddler, one final rush for the Stars at the end of the second period. Put it in. He and Roussel go after it. Roussel back of the net. Fiddler shot it through to Dillon. A drive, save Harding, and no rebound as Nichushkin's there looking for scraps.
Big Val with an opportunity. He almost got a break with that intercepted puck back up the ice. Couldn't corral it though. And then as the Stars get with their rotation, Big Dillon pretty aggressive. Stayed top of the circle on the weak side. Again, Harding's right there. Harding's been a wall. They have had some opportunities and some good looks, but nothing doing. Ellis to the bench. 3 seconds to go. They'll bring everybody up here.
Konopka and Fiddler. Gonchar, the tail gunner, behind him. Off the tie-up toward Gonchar, and it's poked away by a diving Matt Cook to end the period.
So some augmentations from Lindy Ruff as that period moved along, primarily on defense. A little bit of jockeying with positions in front, trying to find an answer and jar his crew out of the funk that they're in through 40 minutes.
Some good news for the Dallas Stars. Jordy Benn, yeah, the older one, finds the net, and he'll join Razor later in the intermission. It's 4-1 Minnesota after 2. Not so pretty tonight for the Stars in Minnesota. The Wild leads 4-1 through 2 periods, and probably not the goaltending matchup, Fraser, we would have expected.
No, the number one guys are out of these 2 lineups. Nicholas Backstrom with the knee injury for the Wild, and Kari Lehtinen, who was injured last night, left the game late in the second period in Winnipeg. And at first we thought it might have been the shot he took to the mass, but probably something off of that. Point shot by Trouba, and he awkwardly, remember when we talked about it in the game, he awkwardly moved on it and then made a save. Didn't look comfortable the other way, took himself out of the game. They say he's day-to-day. He did work out here today. Dan Ellis was going to start here tonight anyway. This was going to be his game, the tough second game of a back-to-back. Had a rough start, but he's battled through 40 minutes. And because Kari is unable to dress, Jack Campbell was brought up from Cedar Park. He's only played 1 game down there too. Weird start for them. They played well in his 1 game, had a good camp with the Stars.
And people might ask, with a 4-1 lead, would you have considered putting Jack Campbell in to get him a little time here or no?
I wouldn't, but his time will come.
Campbell had a good season last year with the Texas Stars, won 19 games, and as Razor mentioned, just the 1 game, but he won it.
So the Stars will have a couple of days off after this one tonight, and then they wrap up the road trip in Colorado against the Avalanche. See what they can muster here in the third.
Granlund wins the draw. Dallas better in the faceoff circle tonight against the league's best faceoff team. The Stars have an edge, but in little else. Markov puts it around behind. Jordy Benn has the lone Dallas goal, and he sends Eric Cole out. Burrowing into the corner, Ballard gave it away back of the net to Whitney. Turning away from Spurgeon, who's got him locked up. Help from Pominville, but it goes to Whitney. To the line. Shot coming in, and Daly's bid is blocked. Horkoff tied up with Pominville, and a penalty coming up.
Wow. Tried hard in that one-on-one battle with Pominville. the stick up into the belly, and as they sashayed around one another, Horkoff gets fingered for the minor. That doesn't help.
Penalty Gallus. Number 10, Sean Horkoff. Hooking. Counter penalty, 35 seconds.
Minnesota is 1 for 2 on the power play. Matthew Dumba scored his first NHL goal on it back in the second period. And Minnesota looking to open it up, getting back to their 4-goal cushion. Dallas looking to build on this penalty kill. And Vern Fiddler ran into the net.
He impaled himself on the post.
Koivu takes the line. Zach Parise tied up. 2 stars are there, and Fiddler and Robidas work to get it away. Garbutt skating hard. Harding laying it out for Ryan Suter. Suter led the NHL in ice time last year. Now it's Koivu walking it in. Spurgeon setting it up. Koivu down low. Parise to Pominville, through his legs and out. Suter from the right point. Koivu. Dillon forces him to turn. Suter to Spurgeon, a shot off the side of the net. Spurgeon regathering. Pominville to Parise, back of the net. Went past him. Suter down from his right point position. Dillon engaging Parise there. Pominville in, lost the puck, and Cody Eakin clears it. Changes for both, 45 left on the man advantage as Sean Horkoff sits for the Stars. Granlund taking the Dallas line, swerving to get around Jordy Benn and then finding Trevor Daley in the corner. Danny Heatley still looking for his first. He had an assist on that Dumba goal. Niederreiter upended. Jamie Benn takes a peek. And now the Minnesota line walks in, he shoots, and a save made by Harding.
Wow. Wow, one-on-one with Brodin. Took it right through him.
Shape shifted. Granlund back to Heatley. Down to Granlund. All the way around. Niederreiter couldn't get to the puck. Fiddler will, and he'll clear it as Horkoff steps on. The Stars kill the power play. And now want to go to work on that scoreboard. It's hoisted out by Torrey Mitchell. Goligoski and Gonchar back together. Fiddler drops the shoulder, takes the line. Nichushkin can't go anywhere against Konopka. Gonchar with his stick was looking for Fiddler. Stoner got it off and gets it back. Veilleux heaving it in. Goligoski up the boards. Nichushkin trying to clear it, and Stoner fires wide.
Boy, we have not seen a lot of Tyler Seguin late in that second period, and he hasn't hit the ice yet here in the third.
Saw him take a little skate before the period began. Oilers go in after that puck. Ben's out here with Eakin and Nichushkin for the moment. In the Dallas zone, Dillon trying to escape. Eakin there to support. Took it away from Brodziak. Robidas is squashed in the corner. Cook belted him.
Dillon came over to see if he could stick up for his partner. They put the D pairs back together again. There's Seguin.
Yeah. Chiasson in the corner. Started with Roussel and Chiasson. Seguin knocked to the ice as he tried to center it. And Fontaine clears. 4 minutes, 15 seconds into the third period. 4-1 Minnesota. Koivu across. Niederreiter's going to get to it. Jordy Benn held him up. Koivu to the net, save Ellis. Jordy Benn double team back there, but he's working against Parise. Jordy Benn to the line. Spurgeon held it in. Koivu and Seguin intercepts. Trying to use Roussel's speed. Now Seguin cut it off in front of the Dallas bench. Stars are changing. Then here comes Gonchar. Straight ahead and to the line. Dallas is onside. Peverley lost it when he walked into Niederreiter.
Nowhere to go.
Granlund ahead. Buying time to finish the Minnesota change. Here's Eric Cole. Lost the puck, got it back, and then was tripped. Whitney circling back in his own zone. He lost it. Heatley gave it into the corner, got it back, and shoved it wide. Stoner. And out comes Whitney. Cole has to reach back for it. And he's offside. Put himself offside at the line.
Go back to that penalty kill. The Stars needed that if they have any designs on creeping back into this game. Jamie Benn get an opportunity to kill penalties again. Thing just fell right for him. That is slick. He just turned poor Brodin inside out. And then Robidas got stunned by Cook, who finishes his checks deep in the Dallas zone. Got the number on his way up.
There's fired in on Harding, who has been lightly tested tonight. Now with just 14 shots, almost 6 minutes into the third period. He can let the puck do the work. Jamie Benn trying to do some more with it. Chiasson, sturdy, but two wild players are there. And then he took it away from Brodin, in front to Eakin. Wanted to drop it to Jamie Benn. Dillon takes a chance. And Robidas hustles there at center ice. Jamie Benn combative in front of his own bench. Fontaine
hacked him right in the chin, I think.
Robidas flushing one in, and no challenge for Josh Harding. Jamie Benn and the Stars frustrated tonight in Minnesota. 4-1 Wild.
A near shot embargo here in St. Paul tonight, which is probably going to end up right along the number that the Wild are allowing so far this season. Stars with just 16 with 14 minutes to go in regulation. Our Ford leaderboard, the stingiest groups in the National Hockey League as far as allowing shots on goal, and Minnesota's atop. San Jose was off to a great start, and behind them the Cup champs, Chicago. Shocking that a Ken Hitchcock team is allowing just 26 shots a game,
isn't it,
in St. Louis. Part of it is their ability to start with the puck a lot. They're a good face-off team. They're positionally sound. Rick Wilson, Daryl Sador, Mike Yeo, their coaching staff, good position in their own end. But if you have the puck most of the night, it's tough for the other team to get shots on goal.
Jamie Benn back on the ice to his brother Jordy. Shot it, blocked on its way in. They can do that too. Suter did. And Cook up through the middle. The Wild ended a 5-year drought last year. The Stars are attempting to do the same thing this year by making the playoffs. So they're trying to build on that. Seguin turned it over. Cook back into the Dallas zone. Nowhere to go and in no particular hurry. Has it again, center to Koivu, and a save, Ellis.
Boy, they've allowed that at least 5 times in the game where the Wild have had the puck in behind the icing line. Started with the turnover up the ice, and that's been a bugaboo of the Stars tonight. In behind, one-on-one battle. Stars don't have pressure on the puck carrier. Get chasing back to the front of the net. Ellis has surrendered 4 goals, a couple of them with maybe a tinge of odor on them, but he's made some pretty good stops throughout the game too on some point-blank chances like that.
Chiasson able to get it off the boards. Goligoski diving out of the way of the Niederreiter hit and then coming back at him. Parise stops up at the Dallas line. Niederreiter on his backhand shot at save Ellis. Koivu picking up the loose puck. Out to Ballard at the line, firing, loose, whacked at the net by Parise. Niederreiter and Parise are there, so is Cody Eakin, and it pinballs over to Chiasson. Koivu, they're just swarming here on him. Koivu finds the puck. Tried to go back to Parise, took it away from Goligoski. Koivu unable to take the pass, Ballard down from the line. Koivu. Gonchar put it away from Pominville. Whitney feathered it over, and Goligoski out to center ice, and the high flip in the general direction. It just died between the circles. Roussel unable to claim it. Cole did. And Granlund He'll haul it to center ice. Took it into the Dallas zone. Walked into Robidas and still managed to work it around the boards. Pominville let it go. Dumba from the line. Shooting it. Robidas kick save and a beauty in front. Heatley dropped it deep. Pominville dropped anchor, took the puck. Crossed the ice, picked off by Cole. And he couldn't nudge it forward. Dillon up ahead. Stars are in. Horcoff to Cole, and he smoked one wide. Roussel pumped it. That's blocked in front by Stoner. Still loose. Stoner to the boards. Dillon whacked away at it. Roussel dumped, but got it to Horcoff. Looking over his shoulder and then tied up by Dumba over there, who kicked it forward, and the Wild cleared.
All the things that Dallas did well last night in the 4-1 win in Winnipeg, the Wild are doing here tonight. And it feeds it when the other side's maybe a tad bit fatigued. But they've been tight as a group. Their puck support has been great. Their puck movement has been terrific.
Fontaine in shot it, and it's already been stinging after that. Sagan at center, cut away from Brodziak. Down the wing to Peverley. Hauling it into the corner. Jamie Benn behind the line. Straight ahead to Gonchar. Tried to find a shooting lane, could not. And loose puck in the Dallas zone, or in the Minnesota zone. Cook outlets to center ice. Fontaine fires a rising puck that Ellis catches. Half a period to go. Goligoski scrambling ahead. Ballard knocked it down at the line. Mitchell tried to find it, couldn't. Stars reloading. Fiddler takes the puck at the Minnesota line. Sneaks through, and Harding kicked it to the corner. Goligoski forcing the issue. Nichushkin is in there too. Minnesota comes away with the puck. Mitchell to Veilleux at the Dallas line. Popped it into Ellis, who sends us away. 9:26 remains in period 3. The Wild lead the Stars 4-1 at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Join us for the official Miller Lite Stars watching party Tuesday night at Katy Trail Ice House in Uptown. Pre-game party starts at 6:30. Stars take on the 5-0 Avs at 8 o'clock. For more info, DallasStars.com. How about Patrick Waugh's team? Outscored the opposition 18-4. Dumba's back in his own zone. And the Wild trying to get a clean exit. Settle for an unclean one. Action still persisting deep in the zone as Konopka is tied up with Fiddler. And there's Veilleux at center ice. Dillon and Konopka shoulder to shoulder, back of the net. Eakin in a deal with Veilleux. Robidas coming in to help, and he's hounded. He turns away from the agitating Konopka. Robidas skating it in. Flipped it into the corner. Chiasson's coming. The Wild have the puck. Stoner. Jordy Ben plays it around. Eakin got it through to Whitney, and he is just surrounded and smothered at the Minnesota line. Here comes Ballard. Ellis puts that out of play.
Well, they're going to be disappointed from the top down in the performance here tonight, but this is an infliction that happens with every team. These second games, a good team in second games of back-to-backs just is a smidge over 500.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. And I don't know whether it's obviously metaphysical, it's psychological, it's all these things. But a lot of teams skate on the morning of the second day. I don't understand it when you have a week off skating the morning of a game, but a lot of teams do it. The Jets did it yesterday, the Stars did it this morning, and it seems like energy is the most important thing as the Stars ice this year. the two most important things are energy within your group and your goaltender.
Yeah.
And you just have to get a superb effort out of one position to cover up for some issues that you're going to have in the fatigue department when you play these second games of back-to-backs. And then what happens is belief starts to build as the game moves along. But if you don't get that sparkle initially, it just seems to drag everything down. But they just have not been competitive at all in this one tonight. They haven't executed well, and they haven't been competitive, and that'll be really disappointing.
And some things to work on then when the Stars get to Colorado. Tomorrow is a scheduled day of rest. There's an offside here intentionally ruled against Minnesota. Will bring the faceoff back into their zone.
Yeah, take the day off tomorrow, and you know, a lot of times rest. You need rest, and they're going to get pummeled in travel and games as this thing moves along. And with a couple of days in between games and after these back-to-backs, it's a scheduled day off tomorrow, and I suspect it'll remain that way. And then they'll re-rack and try to be the first to knock off Patty Roy's Colorado Avalanche.
You can say that because you were drafted ahead of him.
Yes. In mile-high air. But you're right. I mean, he's stepped in there along with Joe Sakic and reinstilled a swagger. They had a swagger in the late 90s.
Did they?
They had some talent, too.
Oh, yeah. The two generally coincide.
First overall pick has played well. You know, they've drafted high for a while and stuck with forwards, and it's paying dividends. Their goaltending's been great.
An icing here against Minnesota as this game grinds itself along.
Well, and I think if you look at the Stars, and you know, last night was a good night, and they played well, and some individuals had big nights. But you know, Jim Nill, the general manager, I think the coaching staff still. This is only their fourth game with so much newness. I don't think they know what they have yet.
No.
How could you? So the more ups and downs and ebbs and flows you have, the more you get a handle on exactly what you have as individuals, as groups, and as an overall team.
Wild bring it out, shoot it in. And they'll just milk this 4-1 lead. Whitney ahead. Stars turned away at the line.
They'll get a chance to rest Suter if they want. You would think.
Yeah.
He had played 20 of the first 40 minutes, so he was right on par.
Brendan Dillon. Whitney was hopeful that the pass would come his way, but Dumba cut it off. And then Stoner ahead. Dave Ellis. Niederreiter locked up. Koivu tried to center. And off the battle, it's Robidas in the corner. Jamming with Koivu. Niederreiter underneath.
Penalty coming.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. You're right.
Under 6 to play in the third.
Here's tonight's game summary brought to you by Sport City Toyota. Matt Cook has looked comfortable in a Minnesota Wild uniform. He scored a lot in the early season, a goal and a helper here tonight. A couple of rookies with their first career goals for the Wild, and Jordy Ben, the only goal scorer for the Stars. That one on the power play. And the goal scoring started early. Fontaine just 12 seconds in, turnover by the Stars in their own zone. And a seeing-eye backhander through the armpit of Dan Ellis got them rocking along. The power play goal by Dumba, his first in the National Hockey League. That made it 3-0 Wild at the time. And Harding is fashioning a clean sheet here tonight. Hasn't exactly been peppered or strafed, but called upon to make at least 5 high-quality stops to keep the shutout alive.
Under 6 to play in the third. Koivu. Pominville back out. Shot it deflected wide in front. Parise was there, so is Pominville. Minnesota on its 4th power play of the game. They're 1 for 3. Dallas's penalty kill has been very good. This is a chance to work on that some more. Spurgeon fired it, rebound, score! Parise in front. So much for that, 5-1.
Their second power play goal tonight. This one shades of the only goal that Ellis gave up last night in Winnipeg on the power play. Shot from distance and a rebound, and in no position to deal with it afterward. Fell perfectly to Zach Parise in front, who is a hungry-looking goal scorer when he gets to the lip of the crease. Just more of what we've witnessed here for the past 2 hours tonight, where the Stars have been a tick late, a step slow.
5 times with the New Jersey Devils, at least 30 goals. 5 times at least 60 points. As Harding shuts this one down, he had a career season, 45 goals in 08-09.
Yeah, I mean, he leads their offense. He's a guy that likes that side of things, but it's the work ethic that he puts in that seems to set things up. He's got a couple of points in the game here tonight. Their checking line kind of set a pace early, and their top line at times in the game, along with their power play, has diced up the Stars tonight.
5 minutes remaining in the third period. Brodziak knocked it across the Dallas line, and Jamie Benn. Peverley to Seguin. Last night, these three were front and center. Benn towards Seguin. Fontaine tipped it out of the zone. Another turnover. And Dillon steals it back.
It's like that center quarterback interchange.
Yeah.
That Harbaugh talks about in that commercial. With the little kids.
Yeah, I love that.
It has not been good for the Stars tonight. It's been really poor.
Cole tried to pass across, and Veilleux is there. Veilleux, originally drafted by Minnesota, reacquired. Roussel couldn't catch it cleanly. Granlund across the Dallas line. Nice pass in front, and Heatley was waiting for that from Pominville. Never got through.
Everything fed off of poor puck plays on the other side, though. The Wild play a system where they force you up the ice. They don't allow a lot of stuff across the ice. And if you turn the puck over, it's going to be costly.
Heatley tried to get his first. Spurgeon resetting for Ballard. Whipped it, stolen. Yashuskin. See what he can do here against Ballard. Ballard poke-checked it. Yashuskin still looking for his first goal in the NHL. Jordy been firing wide of the net. 3 minutes to play. Big 43, the 18-year-old Russian. That was his first pick in 2013. Daly shot that up Granlund and into the seats.
They just have been unable to get anything on track here tonight. Yashuskin getting his feet wet in the National Hockey League and, trying to find his way around. It's an eye-opener for any young guy, whether he spent time in the amateur ranks in North America or coming from Europe or the KHL where he played last year. The pace is so different. Everybody skates well. Everybody gives max effort every shift. The talent level's pretty close. It can be an eye-opener.
There's a shot at the net from Dillon. It was tipped over the top of the goal. Now Whitney in one motion slugged it wide. Dillon going after it. Alex Chiasson, who is Yashuskin's roommate on the road, fed it up, and this found its way out and back in again.
I really like Alex Chiasson and what he's done, and it's not just the goal scoring. You look at him right now for the Stars tonight. He's killed penalties. He plays on the power play. He plays a regular shift. He's really good, strong along the boards. He's been prickly and competitive on faceoffs on the outside. Determined guy with the puck, smart without it.
He got 5 credit hours left to finish up his college degree, too. So he is smart.
There he is again, backing things up.
And Robida hinging it back to Dillon. Parisi sniffing, looking for the hat trick.
Yeah, they've been aggressive. They've challenged Dallas's puck movement from defensemen to forwards, and it has not been good whether they've been pressured or not pressured at all.
Beverly on the wing to Jamie Benn. Trying Spurgeon on, couldn't get around him. Ballard backing up the play. Goligoski hammered it and a save. Harding. So you got to have short memories in the business, and you can't knee-jerk, and Jim Nill and Lindy Ruff were not the knee-jerk types. And the Stars will regather and head to Colorado. As Cook brings it across, Brodziak from an odd angle save, and he tried another one from behind the line. Stoner shot it. Roussel will escape 3-on-2 here for Dallas, and that's broken up. Stoner got his stick up there. Dallas forced to play this puck, and he does so up ahead. Stoner. Deep to Jordy Benn. He's got Dallas's only goal tonight. Mitchell cuts this off. Konopka slid through in front. Garbutt banks it out. So Dallas will fall to 500, 2-2, and Minnesota now goes to 2-1-2. Rattling off consecutive wins after an 0-1-2 start. Beating the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars, and they're both division rivals. 10 left in the game. Fiddler to Nichushkin. Stoner met him. Wild cleared, and they beat the Stars 5-1 in Minnesota.
Well, the Stars played really well in their 2 wins and really poorly in their 2 losses. The opening night loss was a bad effort, but not as bad as this one tonight that just stunk from second number 1 really of the night. They can move forward and try to re-rack and salvage what could be a pretty good road trip and a feather in their cap if they can knock off the Avalanche in Denver.
So the Dallas Stars' second game of back-to-back for the first time this season goes amiss. It started early and never got better. And at the end, the Wild beat them 5-1. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio. The associate producers are John Sponsler and Doug Foster. For the wonderful crew here in the Twin Cities and for Darryl Ray, I'm Ralph Strangis. Hang in there. The postgame show is coming up next.